Hey everyone, welcome back. As you know, I'm always interested in helping people be successful in life. One thing I wanted to look at briefly was a number of different jobs. I think I'm going to start doing a few videos on positions that I see. I like doing research, so it's always interesting to me to see what kind of jobs are out there, the requirements that it takes, how you get your foot in the door. And so for many people, I initially started making these to help people post divorce because people have to rebuild or start a career or maybe restart a career. So, one thing I was looking at recently was just some white collar positions that are not terribly difficult to get into. There are certain positions out there, say like finance or banking, real estate. So many industries now they have some certifications, and you never really know what they are, how long it takes to get them, the prices involved, and for many people, you may need to quickly increase your income. Maybe you've chopped or discounted your expenses as much as possible, and you don't have a year or 2 years to go back to school, do a graduate program, or do a certificate online. Maybe you need something that's a little bit quicker, and you're looking to make above $40,000, say. How can you do that? Today, what I'm going to be looking at is something that I just saw on Wells Fargo. If you don't know, Wells Fargo is like a huge national bank, and they had this position for a loan officer. So I just really quickly, let's look at what a loan officer is going to make here. So $25,000 to $76,000 a year by Glassdoor. Another source says about 32,000 to say 75,000, and this one is per hour, so that's going to be uh, 28,000 to $120,000. So it's basically going to probably depend upon the volume of sales that you do, as well as it's going to usually be a percent. So I think typically loan officers or loan originators, they're going to get 1% of the value of the entire loan. So if you sell, a $100,000 house, you originate the loan, you're going to put $1,000 in your pocket, and then taxes are going to be taken out, of course. So that's just a general idea. If you sell a $5,000 house or originate a loan for a $500,000 house, then you're going to put $5,000 in your pocket. So you could see if you do a lot of those big, high revenue, high dollar type of mortgages, I mean, you could make a lot of money. You could see the big variation. Probably the thing is, when you start out, you're going to make on that lower end until you build a little bit of reputation and get on with a better firm or get placed in a city or a part of the city that's more affluent. We see here there's about 8% job growth and entry-level education, usually bachelor's degree. So mortgage loan originators is what they're often called. Just look here at a couple other things. How much is the salary? This one says 64,000 medium, lowest paid 25% made $45,000. That depends a lot about your cost of living as well. This one says about 1% per loan. That's where I got those numbers. Okay, so one thing I want to look at here was just a posting from Wells Fargo, huge national bank, international bank, mortgage consultant, SAFE. So that is the certification that you're going to have to get. And basically, it says the safe position has customer contact and job duties, which may include offering, negotiating terms, taking applications for dwelling, secure transactions. You need this, like I said, safe mortgage license. And so how difficult is it to get that? Well, so the organization that handles the SAFE certification is the NMLS, probably National Mortgage Loan Society. And so they have a website with frequently asked questions. It's not a great site, but basically on there you can find the state-specific education requirements, and this is of October of 2019. And there's a lot of details, but here you can see agencies requiring state-specific education. So almost all of these 20 hours of state-specific education, some 24 hours, but that's not really that much education, That's like 3 days of 8-hour courses. So the question then becomes, how are you going to get your 20 hours of state-required pre-license education? And so I went on to mortgageeducators.com. They offer a course, a preparatory course, specifically for this thing. Cost $250. It says all states require a minimum 20 hours of mortgage education from an NMLS approved mortgage school. So if we go down here further, does this course work for me in my state? Each state requires a minimum of 20 hours, like I just said, of approved pre-licensed education, with some states requiring additional elective hours. This course will work in any state for the comprehensive education required. However, your state may require additional educations or specific hours that must be completed. So you can go to this chart, additional education. And so you guys can see, I mean, we just looked at that. Most of the states, you can find it here. This is on the nationwide licensing system.org. I'll leave it for you all. But you can just check that out, and that might be a nice way if you are really finding that you're in a financial pinch and you need to generate some more income and you need to get out of the industry that you're in. Perhaps you're doing some kind of customer service or some kind of, low-level general college education thing in maybe a corporation, and it's just not bringing that much income. Well, this is something that it seems like you can really branch out, and like I said, I mean, the numbers don't lie. It all just depends upon, like I said, the volume of loans that you originate and the price on those loans. So getting with a good broker and making it work for yourself. I hope that helps. We will do a new one. If you have things that you want me to cover, other jobs, I'll definitely check into it. I like doing this kind of thing, so I hope it helps. We'll talk to you all later. Bye.